Hi, my name is Mark Stokes. I'm excited to take part in this virtual career day to try and kind of tell you a little bit about what I do for a living. And so let's see what the questions are. What is your career and where do you work? I am a lawyer. I work at a law firm, which is basically like an office full of lawyers over in Norfolk, Virginia. Although I kind of go all over the place to Virginia Beach and Chesapeake and Portsmouth and Hampton and everywhere else. How long has this been your career? I've been working as a lawyer now for just about 5 years. Why did you choose this career? I chose to be a lawyer because I thought I had a chance to be good at it. I thought it could be fun and interesting and challenging career, which it certainly has been. One of the things that I liked most in school was reading or anything that really dealt with trying to figure stuff out, like logic or puzzles or different kinds of things like that. And when I got to college, I got to take some classes that taught me about courts and the American legal system, and I really thought that was interesting. And I starting to get an idea that I thought I might like to be a lawyer for a living, and so that's what I'm doing now. Could you describe a typical day in your profession? Sure, there are lots of different types of lawyers and lots of lawyers that do different types of things every day. Most lawyers work helping somebody do different things that they can't do by themselves. And so some lawyers some lawyers help big companies do things, some lawyers work in government. And because there's all kinds of different lawyers, every lawyer kind of has a different day-to-day experience. Some lawyers work at a desk like this, and they come to their desk in the morning, they sit there all day long, and they work on different things and that they're doing for their clients. I like to argue probably a little too much, and so I became what's called a trial lawyer. And what I do is I go to court every single day, and I try to help people with whatever problem they might be facing. And every day I'm in court talking to the judge or talking to a jury about my cases, and we always have different trials and all kinds of different issues, and it's always very interesting because every case is a little bit different. Every case has different issues, and every client has different issues, and it's nice to get to work on different things all the time, and I think that's exciting. How old were you when you first started working towards your career goals? I actually didn't decide that I wanted to be a lawyer until I was about halfway through college. Sometimes people know what they want to do. Some of you may already know what you want to do, and that's fantastic. But some people don't figure it out till a little bit later, and that's okay too. I was about halfway through college when I started taking some classes that really got me interested in this, and so I started pursuing it as my career. What kind of school or training did you need to complete for your career? So like I mentioned, you have to go to college, which means you got to graduate from high school first. Then you go to college. Then after college, you got to go to law school. So that's really like 7 years of college. So you go to college for 4 years and then 3 years of law school. It's 7 years. After you finish college and law school, then you have to take what's called the bar exam, which is a test you have to take to prove that you know what you're talking about. And you have to take that whichever state you're going to work in. And that's a really long, hard test, but it's at the end of all the different school that you have to go to. What are some traits or skills that make a person successful in your profession? There are some traits or skills that'll make you successful in whatever profession or career you try to do. I think that if anybody's willing to work really hard at whatever that is that they're doing, that they could be successful. You'll always be able to achieve those goals if you're willing to work for them. And it's easy to work hard for them when it's something that you're really passionate about and something that you really enjoy doing. But specifically for being a lawyer, or for like me being a trial lawyer, it will help if you like to solve problems, because that's what we do every day. We're always trying to solve problems and figure things out. It will help if you don't mind talking in front of people, because I talk to people every day in court. I talk, like I said, to the judge or to the jury about every single case. It helps if you really like reading, if you really enjoy reading and you really like kind of understanding different stories or different things that you're reading and being able to explain them well. Those are the kinds of things that could really help you if you like wanted to be a lawyer. Let's see, what is your favorite thing about your career? My favorite thing about my career is that every day is different. No 2 days are ever the same. I think I would get bored if I came to my job and I did the same thing every day. And there's lots of good jobs that'll do that. And if that's what your personality is, that's fine. But I would get bored if that was me. And so I really like the fact that I come in, I sit down, and I meet people, and they all have different issues going on in their lives, and I get to work on every case has its own different issues. And no 2 days are the same. Some days, like I said, I'm in Virginia Beach, or I have to go to Chesapeake, or I have to go to Norfolk, and I have to talk to different judges and different other lawyers, and every case gets a little bit different. And so it's always interesting, and I really like that about my career. What are some challenges that you encounter in this career? Some challenges that you can encounter being a lawyer is that it's hard work. It's not physically hard. I'm not outside having to do hard work, and I have a lot of respect for people that do that because I don't know if I could. But it's hard in the sense that you're constantly having to make sure that you're organized and you're making sure that you're staying on top of all your work and getting everything done on time. Just like any career, you have to make sure that you don't work too hard because then you get stressed out. Even though I'm a lawyer, I still like to relax and have fun. And I'm a dad, and I really enjoy hanging out with my kids. And I like playing video games and exercising and playing sports. So one of the challenges that I have is making sure that I don't work too hard and get too stressed out. So I like to do those things that kind of keep me normal and keep me sane. All right, the last question is, how much can someone in your career expect to make? Well, since lawyers do lots of different things, like I said earlier, some lawyers work at big companies and some lawyers work at small places. Some lawyers only work at places that are helping people that don't have a lot of money. They're really trying to help people that otherwise wouldn't be able to pay a lawyer. Because of that, there's lots of different amounts of money that people can make. If you go to school and you get really good grades, and then you get to a really good college and you make really good grades and go to a really good law school, you could probably go to a really big law firm and make a ton of money. But like I said, some people go to law school because they just want to help people that can't help themselves. And sometimes they go work in places where people come if they can't afford a lawyer, and they go looking for help, and they work for those people for free. So there's a lot of different range and different amounts of money that people can make being a lawyer. But the good news is that if you do want to become a lawyer, you can pretty much assume that you're going to be able to kind of support yourself, because if you work hard enough, you can make sure that you get a job where you're able to support yourself and your family and be able to make ends meet, to say the least. So those are all the questions that we have for the career day. Thanks for letting me be involved in this, and I really hope all of you enjoy looking at everybody's different jobs. Thank you.